Welcome back to more Desktop Dungeons with Dr. Brian Lorgon 111, your host. And in today's episode, we're going to finish off one of the final initial dungeon in the kingdom. It's an easy dungeon, and so it's going to be a bit more fast-paced, less strategy that we need to apply, and more just movement. But then that will unlock a lot of other quests, and we'll be able to start making some more interesting choices. So let's get started. We've got one more of these easy initial dungeons left, the Cave of Thousand Cuts. And so let's go ahead and select it inside. It looks like the boss is going to be another one of those goats. And this time, we still only have humans. I'm going to go back to fighter, because fighters are good at leveling up. But since we created was it the guild? I forget which building it was that basically gave us various preparations. I've only got 22 gold. And so I could buy a shield, which gives me less damage taken. Or I could buy the Slayer wand. Let's try out the shield. I can't remember if I've used that before. And we add that to our standard adventuring kit, which I believe starts us off with, I think it's just the 2 potions. Yeah, health potion and a mana potion. All right, so we've got a shield. We'll take less damage. We've got a goblin right here. Once again, as a reminder, we are a fighter, and so as a result, we can see monsters at equal or lesser value than us. So all these guys will be level 1 monsters. And we gain experience more quickly and level up more quickly. And we've got a layer of death protection, so we can barely survive from 1 killing blow. And there's a monster here, and since I've got all my hit points, definitely want to go ahead and fight him off. And there's also a damage power up here, so we'll go ahead and grab that. And it looks like, are these some signs? Dungeon Hit Writer's Guild Memo. If a monster is higher level than you, it will give bonus experience. Fight them carefully using helpful equipment, and you'll rocket up in levels. We talked about that briefly in the previous episode. I think if you fight a monster who's 1 level above you, you get 2 bonus points. 2 levels above you, you get 4 bonus points. 3 levels above you, you get 8 bonus points of experience. And I don't think I've ever beaten a monster who was more than 3 levels above me. To destroy items and convert them into stat boosts, click and drag into the conversion icon in the bottom of the inventory panel. And yes, we've seen item conversion a bit before. Speaking of various glyphs, Fireball is one of the most valuable ones, and so I am glad to go ahead and grab that one. And wait, what? I can't remember if we have seen this glyph before. I don't know that we have. Swap places. Swap places with an enemy, adding a slow debuff. And so basically, if there's kind of like a high-level enemy blocking your path, you can use this to kind of get by him. I don't know that I've ever actually cast this. I haven't come up with many situations where it seems like it would be valuable, so typically when I find this, I go ahead and use conversion to go ahead and convert it into whatever my character gets, and since I am a human, that's going to increase my attack bonus, and so now I'm hitting for 6. Perhaps we'll use that at some point in the future. And at this point, I still have all my hit points and things, and so I definitely want to work my way over to more of these monsters. And so I'm going to pick up these objects later. For right now, I'm going to try to explore as little as possible and make my way over to these monsters. With the shield, can I beat this guy? No, he's still going to be hitting me way too hard. At level 1, oh wow, apparently the Dungeon Master is going to be right over here because I see some existing blood on the ground, which is always a sign of the dungeon boss. Foul Nemesis, it appears as though you have discovered my base of operations. It was right next to the entrance. It was easy to find. I cannot suffer your presence and allow you to live. Regards, Sir Digby the Goat, who's totally a boss character. We talked about the fact that goats are a traditional boss character in this game for some crazy reason. We will come back to him much later when we are ready to fight him. For now, let's fight Meatman! And this will allow me to level up. And so actually, yeah, if I kill Meatman, I'm going to level up. And so I'm going to weaken him to where he's about to die. And then I'm going to go ahead and cast my Fireball on this goblin to go ahead and start wearing down this goblin. And then we'll go ahead and level up, which regains all of my health and all of my mana. And that'll make the goblin easier to kill. Great, now I can do him in just 1 hit. So he only took off a few hit points off of me, and some more monsters have appeared now that I'm level 2. So I think these guys are going to be level 2 guys, because I don't think these were appearing on the screen before. So let's walk over here. All right, this guy's a level 1. I do need to level up, and so I'll go ahead and dispatch of that guy. Trying to level up as fast as possible. Okay, this was a level 1 as well. Obviously, I didn't take a very good look at where the various monsters were hiding before I leveled up previously. And I think I have to explore 9 blocks to get over to this guy, and only a fewer than that to get over to this guy. So let's go. Let's pick up this. Oh, there's a wall in the way. All right, let's see if we can get around the wall around the corner over here. Past the goat boss. And let's see. Yeah, I can't really use my spells for anything else very valuable, so gotta be kind of wasting my level up bonus here. But this time I did see a few more guys who just popped up as level 3. And so we're still in one of the easier initial dungeons, and so I don't expect this to be too hard. And so I'm not going to worry too much about strategy. We've got a duplicate glyph, and so I will go ahead and convert that for an extra base damage bonus. Here's a level 2 guy who I can easily defeat now that I'm at level 3. And yeah, we'll just kind of cut down pretty much every enemy we see, probably. And try to get up to... Once we're up to level 4, we'll have possibly a shot at the goat. Yeah, we could probably start wearing them down once we're at level 4. But there might be enough enemies around that I could easily get up to level 5. We will see. But let's continue to explore the dungeon. And right now, I'm regenerating like a fiend, and no one's hitting me hard enough to do much damage. I haven't encountered any level 4 dungeon monsters yet. Let's go downstairs and see what's here. Looks like there's a monster over here. So let's work our way over to him if we can. Oh, perhaps we cannot. Interesting. Well, maybe we'll get a glyph that'll allow us to transport that guy over there, and we can find out who it is. I'm going to save this in case I need some exploration later. And so let's come back upstairs for the moment. Take out the meat man. I just saw these things appear, and so I believe these guys will be level 4s. Yeah, there's definitely going to be enough monsters in here to level up to level 5. And so I think I really don't need to sweat this very much. Let's go ahead and pick up some more base damage. Level 4 zombie. I can go ahead and wear him down. Okay, and now at this point, barely win means that he would kill me. So I will switch to the fireball to finish him off and not allow him to hit back. And we're already up to 10 of 18 experience. We need to level up again. And I think, yeah, that's probably enough hit points to kill this guy. Yep. And which one is this? Let me see. Farsight. I can't recall if we've seen this before either or not. I don't think we have. Uncovers 3 random dungeon tiles with normal regeneration benefits. Seeks nearby enemies. So this is actually a very interesting spell. I don't really need it right now, but I'm going to go ahead and cast it to just kind of show off how it works. So notice that if I cast this, my mana will go down from 10 down to 8 from casting it. However, since it shows off 3 random dungeon tiles, we get the regeneration benefits of that. And so I get 3 points of regenerated health and mana. And so I'm back up to 10. And so effectively, since this costs 2 and will regain 3, it effectively helps you regain mana as a result of casting it. And it also tends to uncover interesting squares in the dungeon. So in this case, we found some potions and some glyphs. And so that's one of the valuable things that you get from Lemisi. It can also be valuable because it can allow you to regenerate from things that are behind the walls, areas of the dungeon that would normally be unreachable and that you could not explore. You could use this to get the regeneration benefits of exploring those tiles. So this can be a valuable glyph. However, there's another copy of it over there, and this dungeon's going to be pretty easy anyway, and I want to get my attack power up because this boss has tons and tons of hit points. So I'm going to go ahead and convert that into more base damage and go ahead and continue leveling up. Just kind of kill off all the enemies that I see. We might even be able to get up to level 6 with a fighter, given all the monsters in this particular dungeon. And yeah, I could go ahead. I guess I might as well start using my spells and see if I can wear down the goat at all. He's going to be regenerating just like I am, and so it might be the case, yeah, that he's already back up to full health. And so I might need to get up to level 6 before I could be burning him enough to really get him in terms of regeneration. I should pick up more mana so that I might be able to cast this fireball spell twice rather than just once. but we will continue killing off some of the bad guys. We'll pick up another copy of this glyph, and again, I prefer just to have the damage, and so I don't need to use it in this dungeon. So we'll go ahead and convert that to get a little bit more base damage. And, oh, that wasn't, I was thinking this was the end of the dungeon, but it is not. It's actually over here in this particular dungeon. So it looks like, let's walk around over here, kill off some more bad guys. And 18 of 22. Yeah, if I fight one more guy at a decent level. All right, I could fight these two meat men, for example. You. And now, yes, so I will definitely... I'm going to burn the goat once, and then if I had one more mana point, I could burn him once more. Guess I could have already had mana if I had picked this up earlier. But in any case, I'm going to explore this just so I get one more point of mana back. I'll then burn him again, using up all of my mana, and now I can get all of my mana restored by leveling up, because I'm at 20 of 22, and this will give me 2 more experience. Great. And now we probably have a fair amount of endurance to go after killing the goat. Yes, and I'm hitting very hard right now, so let's take a swing, take another swing, and yeah, look at that. We've built ourselves up to a strong enough opponent that we will finish off the goat. Hooray. And this time I am going to explore the entire rest of the dungeons that I can find. For example, all the money that might be lying on the floor. I don't know that these potions are anything that I can really kind of carry with me. Got another monster over here. So I guess I'll kill him off for funsies. And then we'll go back downstairs. Let's see, if I use wait what? Can I use that? I don't have another, let me see. I was wondering if I could use that down here. Would I swap places with this monster? I thought maybe you had to be like next to the monster or something to swap places. I don't know that I'd be able to get back. I've got mana potions actually. Let's try casting this spell. Honestly, I don't know that I've ever cast it before, so let's find out what it does. I see you have to cast it on someone. And can I cast it on this guy if I can't actually walk over and reach him? No, it doesn't appear that I'm allowed to do that. So I guess you have to cast it on a monster. I think there's still a monster back upstairs in this dungeon. Was there one left? No, I killed them all off. Darn. All right, we'll have to try that glyph on another map. But here's an example of a square, this black space kind of in the middle here, that we can't explore as a result of normal exploration, because the dungeon kind of cuts us off with walls. But if we had a Lemmy, we might be able to explore that particular square, discover what was there, and gain some regeneration from it. And I'm just going to make sure that there isn't any other gold hiding in any of these other corners of the dungeon. But assuming there is not, we are done with this dungeon, so we will go pick up our goat horn trophy. And so yeah, basically the first 3 dungeons that you get that are kind of on your kingdom map are relatively easy and straightforward dungeons. They give you a bit of extra monsters and loot, which makes it relatively straightforward to go without having to use a whole lot of strategy. But we managed to pick up a bit of gold from... Quest complete, city expansion. I can't remember if I've shown the quests like on the menu. I should bring that up next. We defeated the 3 terrible goat lords of the surrounding dungeons, and your kingdom breathes a collective sigh of relief. Unfortunately, we've run up against a new kind of problem. As you take the spoils of your hero's dungeon's exploits back to Kingdom Treasure Vault, you notice that it's becoming a teensy bit full. First world problems. It's time for the official vault to expand beyond the confines of that old couch in your spare bedroom. For now, you'll need to focus on finding a better source of cash security, and hiding it in random pots across town simply won't do. Rumors abound in the local tavern that mysterious creatures known as bankers have been sighted in these realms. If you catch one, maybe you can harness its power in some way. Reward, a new dungeon. Trophy sold, so we get more money for selling the goat horn. And a tavern. Now that you're going further afield, quests and dungeons are becoming accessible from the map screen. Click on the tavern to prepare for your next adventure. And so now this screen, I think, will stay kind of devoted to expanding our kingdom, and there'll be a separate screen that's going to have all of the dungeons that we can go adventuring to. And here it is. If we click on the tavern, dangerous investments. And so basically, this just describes a couple of new dungeons that involve bankers. There's one called Venture Capital and one called Dangerous Investments. And so those are some of the new dungeons that we will have to conquer in order to get bankers so that we'll be able to store more money in the kingdom. And yeah, basically, as usual, if you click one of the quests, it gives you a little bit of a description of what is going to be going on in that particular area. And so you could either select that quest, or can I cancel back out of it after I do? Yeah, and then, do the usual dungeon preparation mode. But if I click to continue, right, they talk about what the adventuring kick actually does. We've already seen this before. Auto advance, yeah, random rolls a dungeon character for you in a last run for multiple attempts on a dungeon. I haven't played with those at all. Or you can just cancel to go back to kingdom duties, and that's exactly what I want to do. So I'm going to click cancel so that we can go back to kingdom kind of stuff, because we do have 214 gold, and I could either at this point upgrade the Thief's Den so that we could get a new character class, the Thief, or upgrade the church in order to get the priest. Both of those guys have various aspects that would be valuable. I think I'm going to do the thief right now, because if we take a look at the thief's characteristics, one of them is hoarder, 33% more items on a dungeon map. And I think that includes the little money piles. And so a thief could be a good way to earn extra money more quickly. And so let's go ahead and upgrade the Thief's Den to unlock the character class of Thief. And that'll help us prepare for that next dungeon. And you can see that we could then kind of like upgrade these same buildings further. It'll cost a whole lot more money, but to get kind of like the next tiers of these kind of general classes of characters. That's just the guy, right, that we sell the things to. This is where we have the fighter, and this is also... No, it's the blacksmith, right, that has these preparations. Or we could start out with the sword and different things, right. And then the mage tower. All right, I need to check on the time for this episode, so I will be right back. All right, this will be a bit of a shorter episode this time around, but we don't have time to go through another dungeon. But we did make some progress, and next time we will start on the quest to try to get some bankers into our kingdom so that we can get some more money for future upgrades. Hope you guys enjoyed watching it, and I will see you again soon with more desktop dungeons.